Welcome back. It is the case that sparked outrage around the world with months of protests. The U.S. bracing itself for further tensions as jury selection gets underway in the trial of Derek Chauvin. That is the former police officer accused of killing George Floyd. We are going live right now to Minneapolis to CNN reporter Nadia Romero, who is following what the next while is going to look like, including Nadia. We are watching a live shot right now inside the courtroom as this all gets underway. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Melanie. And what you're watching is a pretrial hearing right now. One lawyer is arguing that because there's still this issue of whether or not a third-degree murder will be added to the charges, he's already facing second-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter, but maybe an additional charge is still on the table. One of the lawyers is saying that we should stop this jury selection process, halt that, put it on pause until we figure out exactly what charges he could be facing. Judge Cahill right now is saying, well, why do we need to do that? Can't we move forward with jury selection that's supposed to last for 3 weeks while we figure out exactly if this last charge will be added or not? That's what's happening right now in that pretrial hearing. There's a lot riding on this case. A lot of people all around the world, as you mentioned, they saw that viral video of Derek Chauvin kneeling on the neck of George Floyd, and many people who came out to this courthouse to rally, they've since left and marched down the street here in downtown Minneapolis. They are demanding justice for George Floyd, and for them, it only can come if Derek Chauvin is convicted. Melanie?
So let's bring you, Nadia, the shot that you mentioned here. Let's bring you back to a live look outside the courthouse, and you see a number of people are gathering. Is it intense security right now? Do you have an idea of what the police presence looks like?
Yeah, so we already saw National Guard troops on the ground here in Minneapolis. The governor said that there could be up to 2,000 called in. We know that 1,200 law enforcement officers from state, local, and federal agencies will likely come to the city if need be as well. But there's already increased security. So we have barricades and road closures all across downtown to limit traffic, limit people coming to this area. You can see behind me that there's fencing and barricades, police tape up around the Hennepin County Government Center. Inside, that's where the trial is going on. And they've already limited how many people can be in the courtroom, not just because it's such a high-profile case, but remember, we're still in the midst of a pandemic, COVID-19. So fewer media members allowed inside. Only one family member for Derek Chauvin and one family member for George Floyd can be in the courtroom at a time. And the jury has to be sequestered. So they're trying to keep the identity of the people that they actually pick. But right now, there's some 200 potential jurors. They were all mailed this 16-page questionnaire. The first question was, what do you know about the case? What have you seen in the media? They are trying to find someone who's impartial, someone who hasn't already made up their mind about who they believe or what they believe was responsible for George Floyd's death.
Nadia,
Melanie?
how difficult is that going to be? Someone who does not know a lot about the case.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are dialed in because it's our job, but so many other people are on social media and they saw the video too. The hard challenge is really going to be up to the defense, Derek Chauvin's defense. They will argue that he was just doing his job, that he was following his police training, and they will point to a toxicology report that shows that George Floyd had methamphetamine, fentanyl, other drugs in his system, and that he was also suffering from COVID-19. They believe that those are the factors that contributed to his death, not the fact that we all saw Derek Chauvin kneeling on his neck. But finding somebody who doesn't know the ins and outs of this case, that may be difficult. You also have to find somebody who likely doesn't have a bias against or for police. You have people out there who are going to be against police officers, who believe that they do not protect and serve. You also have another group of people who see that badge and they give police officers the benefit of the doubt. So this is quite the challenge as they go through this jury selection process, and that's why it will likely take up to 3 weeks.
Nadia, finally for you, yes, you mentioned the timeline of up to 3 weeks, but if this additional charge is added, does this set back the process?
It definitely could, right? The defense could come in and say, well, we have another charge to prepare for. The prosecution could say the like, we need more time to prep. A third-degree murder charge is a lot different than second-degree. It's a lesser charge, but it may be something that the jury believes they'll actually believe that he did, a third-degree murder charge, meaning that he was so reckless in his actions that he didn't mean to kill anyone, but his actions led to the death of someone. Second-degree is a much more severe charge, but they're different, and you you have to argue the case differently because of the different charges at hand. So they could ask the judge for a delay, but it's up to the judge to see if he will grant that delay in this trial.
Okay, a lot to watch here. That's Nadia Romero reporting live in Minneapolis. Thank you. And of course, we will be following this jury selection over the coming days and weeks, so stay with us here on Breakfast Television.